How do I feel trapped? Like a rat chasing cheese. My reality is really all make believe. I cannot conceive. Living days of my dreams. I've been traumatized by the days I have seen on my bended knee. Hoping God hit the flow. I'm on my feet in these streets where I'm needed. When they left me alone, that thought alone had me heated on them cold nights. Under bright street lights where my head rests. Life lessons not knowing where my next test is. Well, I passed, man, you know my answer's no. All the niggas acting like they can't hear me from. All the niggas acting like they can't hear me from. Different struggles, so I guess I think they can.
Yep, we got two, brother. I don't mess with them because I do it for real. Uh-huh. What up, what up? Not even gonna be too long. One second. Gonna get it started real fast. Just have to get some libations in me. But yes, peace and love. Peace and love. Just jumped on here real fast, man. We had a busy day. We didn't get a chance to do live adapt class on our temple page. We did a past teaching, had some errands to run earlier. But if you haven't subscribed to our Temple and School YouTube channel, please do. It's Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School. And every Friday we have book club where we go over books. You're able to get those from us for a fraction of the price. Because I converted a plethora of books to ebooks, expensive and rare books. I converted them to ebooks. You can get them printed and bind it from us. Or Office Max or Staples will bind them for the same price we do it for. But we offer that on that platform. Every Saturday we have adapt class, and then Sunday we have Sunday school. And we just reach out to brothers and sisters to please subscribe to our Temple and School page and, join us and ask questions. This is a safe place. We're here to respect each other, We're not here to be, how can I say it, caught in somebody's religious, orthodox, dogmatic perspective. We're here as adults to make a sound decision and not get caught up in no bull crap or nobody's scam or scheme or whatever that may be. Nobody's selling you something saying that it can make you this or you can file this and you can become that, and all those fallacies. That's meaningless, and no one's life has changed from any of those things. And we should be able to talk about all those things in a safe place. It's so much going on in social media world, especially like TikTok, where you see these brothers saying, oh, you can file this and you can file this and you can get that and you can get this. Which to a person that's operating in their lower self, that might sound attractive to you. But in all reality, in all actuality, is meaningless. I promise you this. When I speak of things, I speak of things that's universal, and I always give something to everyone, something to compare to as students. I'm not a dictator. I'm a teacher, a map, and a guide. So when I give information, when I tell brothers before they do anything, before they get caught up in anybody telling them, oh, you can do this, you can file this, and you can file that, I give you peer-reviewed scholarly research to say, wait a minute, to ask yourself some questions. And then everyone around you, you can say, hey, this is the information. So if they choose to do those things, they have no excuse of saying that they didn't know. So when I talk about these things, when I say Roger Elvig, that sovereign citizen movement, that's not more science. That's some Roger Elvig, European, Albion, Trelodike stuff. No disrespect. Just like when I talk about the Paradigm Group, the same thing. Just like when I talk about everyone that has done those things, they went to jail. Even Moors that had temples and things, peace be among his soul, like Marcel Wardell, he went to jail, and a lot of his people was going to go to jail. This is the truth. All this stuff can be looked up. And when I ask people, what is it doing for you? It be sad, but I say the internet and social media has allowed it. I mean, this stuff is so simple, man, but so complex when the mind is in a criminal state. When your mind, it's just like when I talk about Moorish Science Temple of America, when people talk about status correction and all that, well, what are you talking about? It's just like if someone's defending you in a court of law and you have to have your proof. Where's your proof if you changing something? Like a lot of stuff people just be making up as they go, and they become paper terrorists. Bobby Hemmett talked about this a long time ago. And I don't know where people get these things from. It's a fallacy. This stuff is old. They've been talking about this. Your social security numbers is attached to millions, all this, all that foreign militia stuff. That's an old play. And that play is criminal behavior. And brothers and sisters don't want to talk about that. Brothers and sisters be afraid to have conversations like that stuff means something. And people be selling courses talking about, oh man, this person gonna show me how to, I don't know what you think they're gonna show you, but that shows the mentality of a people, to show how easy you can be misconstrued to pay somebody on the internet for some course to do something that you shouldn't be paying nobody to do nothing. None of those things. Because at the end of the day, you ask any of those characters it's meaningless, brothers and sisters. And when things is taught in the right perspective, like when I always talk about in Moorish Science, the divine comes first. Man, your heart got to be pure first before you can accept the truth. The truth of what? What you demonstrate. What you're putting out in the atmosphere. What you're putting out in the atmosphere. Peace, Noble Alonzo. That's what I'm talking about. We have to be able to have these conversations with brothers and sisters because it's so much stuff that's going on social media right now, and people think Moorish Science is them following some type of paperwork. And I'm telling you, you're going to be a paper terrorist, domestic terrorist, foreign and abroad. That's exactly what you're going to be. And these people, what they're doing on the internet and on TikTok, they know all that stuff is meaningless, but their claim to fame is like a Ponzi or a pyramid scheme, is to sell what? You some type of course. to say you can file this, you can file this. Well, why haven't they filed it? Like so much stuff is a fallacy and it's not more science, you know? And the crazy part about it is these individuals link up with other individuals and have podcasts and get and so many people that I know that's Moors, that's the first thing they be coming to ask me. Well, Sheik, do you know this person that be on the internet saying this and that other? And I'd be like, well, who? Say who it is. Don't ask me and throw dots, because I'm talking about all of it. I bet you none of them come to me with that crap because I know all of them that reinvented themselves. Some of them got skinnier, some of them got bigger, especially the ones that's in this more science stuff and be talking about that canceling corporate debt and your birth certificate is connected to this and you can file all this and the Amish is this, is the Amish is that. But Negroes say they ain't a part of no religion. Negroes say they ain't part of nothing. And a lot of stuff is half truths. They won't come to me with none of that stuff because all that stuff is meaningless. At the end of the day, that's not doing nothing for your community. That's not doing nothing for your household. That's not doing nothing for no one that's subjugated mentally. All that stuff is paper terrorist stuff. You playing a dangerous game. Bobby Hemmett talked about it. And these Moors be acting like they don't know what I be talking about. And I say, why are you going to court talking about filing this and filing that and filing this and filing that? To do what? Tell me. Talking about you canceling corporate debt. You have no corporate debt. You have zero corporate debt. So now what else you'll claim to fame? Oh, my social security number is attached to millions. Man, well, who? You ain't the only one that got a birth certificate. Everybody got a birth certificate that was born in the hospital. And if you won't have a midwife, then you was under the jurisdiction of the hospital. Like, everything is capped. Like, everything. All of it. And don't nobody stay in no neighborhood without paying no taxes or nothing. Why? Because if you did, your house would be foreclosed. How? You'll owe back taxes. These is facts. I'll start telling everybody who owe back taxes on their property. I mean, for real, nobles. And this is the truth. This is the truth of the matter. We have to stop that, man. We have to stop that. And everybody know what I'm talking about. And we only do this in our community. It's people in our community that just hustling their own people with a scam. It's a scam. And it ain't even a good one. It's not a good one because I just told you that the European, Roger Elvik, and then the other Europeans, the Paradigm Group in Canada, this is where it all come from. It's not more science. So when anybody talk about, oh, well, man, I'm in this because I want to do this and I want to claim my this, nobody told you to claim nothing or do a status correction. I tell people, how are you going to have evidence for the court of law when that time comes if you have no evidence? And a lot of things people do not understand because we don't want to listen. We don't want to be structured. We think we can buy something. And that's what happens with us as a people. We get caught up thinking we can buy something. We on the internet looking at all these people saying, oh, you know, because they might have on a diamond a watch, or they might use AI better than someone else. And they coming up with all this stuff. And they got all these people behind them doing all this. Well, why none of those people in the crowd, or why none of them doing it? See, that's like some infomercial stuff. And we're not even thinking. That just like back in the day, those infomercials that came on late night. Cleo, the psychic, Call Me Now. And that other dude, that preacher, he'd be like, and God, buy my prayer package. All this stuff, that's what this is. And we're not talking about it. And so when I'm telling people from my heart, like, man, you're going to get in trouble doing all this stuff. You're going to get in trouble playing a game. Because that's what these people are doing. They're playing a game. That sovereign citizen stuff, that's an oxymoron. That expatriating over the de facto government, why in the hell would you want to do that? And like, we're not going to talk about these things. We're going to let the most, how can I say, unstudious individuals talk about something that's so important. I'm so tired of hearing people talk about, oh, and Black Law Dictionary. Man, so what? You got a whole bunch of Black Law dictionaries. That don't mean nothing. We talk about precedent and law cases, doc number, Free Information Act, quid pro quo, Chicago Law Review. We talk about real things. Man, we understand terms. Terms is meaningless. And that's what I tell people. And Brothers is getting caught up in something that they have no idea what's going to happen. You're going to be looked at as a domestic, certain Moors as domestic terrorists. I'm telling you, what's happening is happening now. And brothers and sisters is playing this stupid ass game, acting like they ain't Americans. I'm like, well, what are you? Well, tell me, what are you? Because I'm an American. I mean, last time, I could care less what anybody else talking about. I know what I am. And see, and that's where it starts with me. And then when I talk about the law of succession, this is what I want brothers and sisters to really, really catch. Because a lot of stuff go over brothers' heads. When you have enough time to sleep on things and think about things and put things in their proper manifestation, you will have an aha moment. You will have a light bulb moment. And brothers and sisters, when the divine comes first, that's the only time that the light bulb will start to at least give a little flicker, because you won't be thinking about the switch. You won't be thinking about the doohickey. You will be connected to the substance, which is the what? The electricity, the power. And the power is always right. Why? Because the power is the law. See, that's what it's synonymous to when we talk about the esoteric and the higher and the lower, or the lower extremities and the higher extremities. You don't cut one off. That pendulum swings the same way, one way as it does to the other. So watch this though. So watch this. As we talk about the specific phrases, especially my brothers and sisters that's Moors, or all these brothers and sisters that's navigating or gravitate to the Moors culture because you feel, oh, you somebody out of prison or some Joe Blow you don't saw on the internet came up with some of the most outlandish stuff. Someone said that they still with their feet wide open and they done parted the Red Sea. A whole bunch of outlandish stuff. A whole bunch of outlandish stuff that's meaningless to anybody that's upright, that's a noble. But listen clearly. When we talk about the law of succession in religion, it can refer to the distribution of property based on religious laws, or to the transmission of religious authority, such as apostolic succession in Christianity. Just like when you talk about certain priests, property succession laws differ among religions, with examples including the specific inheritance rules under Islamic and Hindu law that often detail priority among heirs and gender-based shares. Apostolic succession is the doctrine that the spiritual authority of Jesus' apostles was passed down to bishops through an unbroken line of consecration. So I hope we understand that little tittle, and then how the prophet set the temple up and how things are structured in the right manifestation. Because the property of succession. Now, when we just talk about how things are set up, listen to this. Islam follows specific rules, such as, the wife receiving a share of 1/8 of their children, and the male heir receiving twice the share of a female heir. That's in, Hinduism is distributed in heirs in a specific order, beginning with class 1 heirs, then class 2, and so on. Some laws may also be changed by conversion to another religion per se. Christianity in those certain sects. In some cases, religious laws is superseded by the laws of the state in which the deceased live. Some Christian traditions have their own laws of succession, such as those found in the Bible, which outline how a man's possessions should be passed on. Think about it. Judaism has its own as well, governed by the Hakalah, which is considered the oldest religious laws and includes specific rules for wealth management and estate planning. So when we talk about these things, and we, like I said, we just have an understanding. And then when we dealing with specificness of more science, I hope brothers is catching what I'm saying. Because other religions have their own concepts of succession that may not be tied to a specific lineage of authority. These may be more metaphorical, such as the line of succession of people who have modeled the faith and described in the Princeton University chapel. So, they had an article speaking on this specific topic. So what I'm saying is, going back to my brothers and sisters that's operating under more science, or that's even, how can I say it, interested in the more science. I hope you want to know the divine aspect of it first. I hope you don't come into more science as a criminal, because if you come into more science like that, somebody's gonna give you exactly what you want, and it's gonna be a whole bunch of fallacy. I'm telling you. And brothers don't be wanting to talk about it. And I said, well, you should. You should talk freely about certain topics. For enlightenment, you should talk freely. Nothing should be a secret. If you are who you say you are, a professor, or a sensei, a shaman, whatever vernacular that you use and whatever craft that you in, if that's what it is, nothing is held back from no one. The same way how I was. It was just, I was one of those type of students that was always intrigued. I was one of those that's always wanted to study and learn. And so the same way it was given to me, I give to those. Whether the sacrifice, yeah. Am I continuing to learn? Yes. But with this science and with this more science, with this uprighteousness, I tell everybody, man, it's a thin game. It's a light tread that you should take, because you can get caught up in the wrong aspect of this. And all I tell brothers and sisters is, if you're operating in more science, and if you got into more science, listening to people on the internet, which, hey, I can say curiousness come from all ways, but don't you want to be correct when you operate in the world? Don't you want to operate in peace? Don't you want to be like, well, okay, of course when you learn something, the first thing is like, whoa, you might be in awe, or you might look at others like, why they don't know. Everybody's timing is the timing. But once you get something that's good, once you get a certain level of peace, you'll know how to what? Operate on this earth plane. And that's what I tell everyone. That's the whole dynamics of it. But those that's under this certain cloth, when I tell brothers and sisters, it's a certain way that you got to operate. It's a certain way that you got to operate. It's a certain a degree that you should know. And the degree that you should know is just at least the basics. And we shouldn't be afraid to talk about the basics, brothers. We should be able to share all this and be like, okay, like a lot of Moors, they never heard of the state booklet. They don't even know how the prophet set the temple up. They don't even know that the 1099 ain't nothing but a affidavit how to set the temple up. It ain't no trust fund at the end of the rainbow. No matter what no more tell you, no matter what no more, I don't care how old they are, what they professing, I'm telling you, that's not the truth. All this stuff can be looked up, man. I can give you the paperwork, just like anything else, from where it was established for anybody else with eyes to see, that want to see it and get the true information, and be like, that's not true, that's not true. And we don't lead our brothers and sisters in a burning house. We have to share this stuff, man. We have to be willing to be transparent with everything. And that's the degree when I say, man, step up. Step up, brothers and sisters. Like I said, it's nothing new under the sun. This wisdom, it's old. It's old. And Moors know exactly what this is about. This is not about filing no paperwork. This is not about overthrowing no government. This is not about squatting in no house. What's the purpose of all that? Like, what's the purpose of all that? What's the purpose of filing a whole bunch of paperwork? Tell me. What's the purpose of following anybody on the internet that's promoting any type of movement or any type of demonstration like that? You can't even give me one good solid reason why anybody with a sound mind would be following anything like that. Man, we got to stand against that, man, because there's too many people that I've seen that come in my contact, brothers and sisters, that they come in and they come out. Some of them go to jail for doing all this crazy stuff. Some of them lose everything, and then they come to me in the SOS mode. And I'll be like, man, what have you done? Oh, Sheik, I've been kidnapped. I did all this. I said, no, you haven't. You too old for this, man. And that's what I be telling these brothers and sisters. These ain't no little kids doing this. I'm like, these grown people are doing all these fallacies. And I say, no way, brothers and sisters. Today, after today, we should be clear on everything. Brothers and sisters should be able to be like, man, I'm gonna hit this brother up and ask him some questions, man, in the right manifestation, not from anger, because somebody's life can be saved. You know, somebody's child. Just like I remember, I was talking to my mom, and her friend's son was talking about he got into more science and he started watching some videos, and I said, videos of what? And my mother really didn't know who. And she was like, well, I told her, to get in contact with you and this, and that, and the other. But see, brothers don't want to get in contact with righteousness, someone that is going to steer in the right way. What they get into, what they like to follow is the rhetoric and the noise to act like you can file something, you can get something. And that's what happens to a lot of these brothers and sisters. And that's what happened to a lot of these people, relationships and their families. It turns to something totally what it should turn to. And no disrespect, they be worse than some of those religious Negroes on the corner. Some of those Hebrew Israelites that be on the corner arguing with people. Some of those Moors that I know are worse than those individuals. Just think about what I'm saying for a minute. When I say why are we here in America, all of us melanated people, and we are the only group of individuals that tell someone that their religion is better than theirs and this is better than that. Especially when it comes to more science. I always tell people, I say, well, it's only one science. It's only one prophet. It's only one more science temple of America. Noble Drew Ali only made one more science temple of America. It's only one. Now, whatever the more science temple of the world is, I don't know. Whatever the more science temple Inc. is, I'm not into that. Whatever the more science temple, whatever somebody put on the more science temple acronym on the end, I don't know nothing about that. All I know is one thing, and that's the Moorish Science Temple of America that Noble Drew Ali established, that I'm a part of, and I know that I created a temple in school for not only Moors and for brothers and sisters that was looking for science, that want to learn from no biasness, from no judgment, not going through no stupid how can I say it, a ritual to come learn, and the only ritual and the only, how can I say, oath you're going to be taking is the wisdom and understanding and building yourself up, and understanding that once we build ourselves up, then understand that what we can do as a community under our religious laws, as I just talked about the law of succession. See things brothers and sisters don't be catching when I be telling people, like, everything else you're doing, you playing a deadly game, which Bobby Hemmett talked about early in the 90s when he was talking to the Moors. And Moors don't want to hear that. We played that in a DAP class earlier, a rerun, and we replayed that clipping. And I tell people, I said, okay, you play a dangerous game with individuals that's playing with you, that have a motive. They don't want to hear that. But you should want to hear that, for you can tread the right way. You should want to have how Noble Drew Ali set the temple up. You should want to have the holy nation state booklet. You should want this for a person will digress, for you can see how things are established, for you can know some basics, so you can have a little foundation, so you can at least be able to accept some more, because your cup has a little bit of truth in it, and then you can build on it. Why? Because we're talking about structure. I said there's only one prophet, there's only one temple, there's only one state booklet. regardless of the individuals, regardless what all the other individuals may have done under the cloth of more science. You can't change what the prophet done. You can't change what was already written. You can't. You might try to. Some people might try to have some pieces, and they argue over man, who's the supreme grand sheik, all that goofy stuff. But that ain't what we talking about. I can care less about any of that crap because I'm not orthodox. So all that stuff goes out the window for me. But I'm talking about how the temple is set up. And when we talk about certain situations, when we talk about certain structures, when we talk about how nobody should be elected because you like them or like them. I mean, elected because you like them. It should be a certain degree that these individuals have to be able to lead men, to be able to do these things. Not to be talking about a whole bunch of old stuff and a whole bunch of ritualistic stuff. Because we dealing with progression. Brothers, we dealing with progression. I'm telling you, we dealing with so much advanced technology than it was 20 years ago, and even in the 90s, and even past. You know, think about what I'm saying. You know, but we greet all Moors. I do, and actually I greet everybody in love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and high honors to the great God, Allah, Yahweh, Buddha, Confucius, whatever name that you give. We respect all the laws and the prophet and the prophets, and I respect all of them in the flesh as well. You know? But the Father of the universe and the holy and divine prophet, Noble Drew Ali, we expound on how the Moorish Science Temple of America was declared a recognized free national government throughout the earth. Sometimes as Moorish Americans in the new era of time, a lot of people struggle on the explaining who we are within such an ignorant and unconscious society, being based in the color of law and the concept of, different types of religion. But in reality, if we teach and do this great work as a government properly does, while running this ecclesiastical body politic and corporate, then people of all levels will understand by our works and deeds and may be fulfilled on this divine and national movement as well. So when we talk about a body politic and corporate, people must understand what I'm saying. You must have a clear understanding, because if you don't have a clear understanding on what I'm saying, then that's your fault, and then you have a misunderstanding, and you operate on your own understanding because you're not clear. You're not clear on the science of these words and the power of these words, what I'm saying, because a lot of people just run with the words. But the Holy Prophet Noble Drew Ali stated a beggar nation cannot attain to its highest spirituality. You know? Peace, Noble Brian. He said, I will keep certain people here long enough to teach you how to run a government. So let's stop begging for what we should be working hard to retrieve. This is what I tell people, we can work hard to retrieve things if we work together. Think about what I'm saying. It's not hard. We're watching it. It's certain individuals, certain structures here showing us how to teach us how to run a government. Think about it. I ain't say overthrow, then I say how to run it. Think about structure. This is what we should learn how to do. You know? So we can talk about this. And we hope Moors take from this little tittle of wisdom, this precious value of what we give and what we show with people. We can show knowledge of the free national government being incorporated under the Heard Smith revised status of the state of Illinois as an ecclesiastical body politic and corporate. That's how the Moorish Science Temple was set up. So you can't change that. And when people come with that wagness and say, well, this not no, because the Vatican State was incorporated under this particular act since 1929. You know, and in this wisdom that we're going to give a little tittle, the book is written to the best of everyone's understanding. So when we talk about state, I always try to tell my Moorish brothers and sisters, they say they dealing with civics. I said, to be civics, you must be civil. The divine come first. You must be able to accept the flush and field and get out and get a flush and field and reboot your hard drive. And most people, they don't want to deal with more science like that. The more science they deal with is criminality. It's always squatting in somebody's house, driving without nobody's license. They're gonna overthrow the government. They're gonna file this. Your birth certificate is attached to this, and it's all fugazi. So when I started making things plain and say, well, okay, all that stuff we're gonna throw out the window. Have you thought about this? Damn, that makes too much sense. Of course it makes sense. So when we talk about the definition of state. So when we explain the definition of state, now remember, keeping your hippocampus. A state is a people. You heard what I just said. However you want to say, people, whatever, all the stay in context, please. Permanently occupying a fixed territory, bound together by common law habits and customs into one body politic, exercising through the medium of an organized government, independent sovereignty, and control over all persons and things within its boundaries, capable of making war and peace, and of entering into international relations with other communities of the globe. A political unity, concretely viewed, a state is a body politic possessing sovereignty. Any body politic possessing sovereignty is entitled to be called what? A state. I hope you listen, because all the rest of this stuff with these people in certain areas, in neighborhoods, and they riding around and they made up police car, they old Crown Victorias talk about they some whatever. How you patrolling somebody else's neighborhood with their jurisdiction and their bylaws? You don't even have land. So one, you playing a game, and one, you head bust time. And it's no disrespect to no one. You can't patrol nobody else stuff that's already under their jurisdiction and their bylaws. Like, that's asinine. Like, and people be like, well, yeah, well, at the end of the day, I know I'm right. And most of these people get court-appointed attorneys, and they plead to lesser charges. These is facts. So when we start having some common sense, which sometimes is not that common, that's not on nobody else. Think about what I'm saying. Anybody politic possessing sovereignty is entitled to be called a state. Do you have that? No. But see, this is a good characteristic to describe what the Moorish Science Temple of America is, the Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple is. You know, the people described in the state would be described as the members of the Moorish Science Temple of America, the members of the BPT. Listen clearly. By definition of state, your ears should be open. The fixed territory of our state would be what? Come on, northwest, southwest, northeast, northwest, what? Or Maxima, whatever vernacular you want to use. The common law habits would be focused toward practices, and chapter 32 of what? The Heard Smith revised status of state of Illinois. And then people say, oh, we don't need this no more. I'm telling you how it's structured. I don't care what nobody say. Now, we going to tell the truth or nothing but the truth, or we going to just play games. Because we can destroy the whole thing. We can just drop a bomb on the whole thing. It'll make me no different. By definition of state, the character who will have independent sovereignty in our state is who? Only one person, which is the prophet, Noble Ali. Noble Ali is the true sovereign in this context. In the context. Moorish Science Temple of America is a sovereign body. And we are not sovereigns, but members of a sovereign body, politic and corporate. I hope you caught that. Because that sovereign citizen is criminal. It's an oxymoron. Can't be no stupid ass sovereign and no citizen at the same time. Excuse my candor. In comparison with the term state, you have to now define the term body politic. And body politic is defined as a social compact by which the whole people, listen clearly, covenant with each citizen, and each citizen with the whole people, that all shall be governed by certain laws for the common good. Also a term applied to a municipal, corporation, school district, county, city, state, or public association. See? And we're looking at the term government, we can see that this term has a connection with the term state, body politic, and body corporate. And we can understand the similarities. of these particular terms. Because government derives from a Latin term, Gubernaculums, gubernaculums, which is defined as the system of polity in a state, that form of fundamental rules and principles by which a nation or a state is governed. So polity is the form of government, whether theocracy, federal, anarchy, so on, is many forms of government. But this particular form of government that the Moorish Science Temple of America is known is a theocracy. And a theocracy is defined as a government of a state by the immediate direction of God or by the assumed direction of a superstitious divinity, or the state thus governed. See? And as members of this body politic, we recognize the creator, God Allah, alone guides this divine and national movement. And a theocratic entity differs from the form of a secular entity, because the Moorish Science Temple of America is a divine and national movement that has divine laws and holy laws that each member are to uphold and preserve. And if they are to earn the name of the faithful, as afforded in our Act 7 of our Moorish Divine and Constitution bylaws. None of this stuff is complex. That's why I'll be asking people, I'll be like, okay, well, I don't think that's not what it is. But the temple was established as a religious corporation by filing the affidavit of organization. Remember I talked about the documentation 1010-5905, Form 1099, recorded in the Recorder of Deeds office in the County of Cook. I use the acronym CCRD, County of Cook Recorder of Deeds. It's right there. So any old Moor, some sheik on the internet talk about the 1099 is some damn trust fund at the end of the rainbow, you might as well look at them and be like, man, are you sure? Give them a chance. And then they shake their hand and walk away, because you know they full of crap. You can say it just like that. But the Recorder of Deeds office in the County of Cook, State of Illinois, on August 1st, 1928 AD, at 2:52 p.m. At that time, through the affidavit, because that's all it is, Prophet Noble Drew Ali gave birth to a free national government as an ecclesiastical body politic and corporate under the revised statutes of the State of Illinois, Chapter 36, Section 36. So when you see even a date, July 20th, 1928, the third day on the beginning of a new moon, all that stuff, they try to say the blah, blah, blah. But it was a certain reason why things was done. He held the meeting, had the affidavit notarized, and recorded the affidavit, on August 1st, 1928 AD at 2:52 p.m. I'm just telling you how the temple was established. And the Hurd Smith Revised Statutes, Chapter 32, an act concerning what? Corporations, Section 36, Religious Corporation Act, played a huge origin on establishing the Moorish Science Temple of America as an ecclesiastical body politic and corporate. So how can any subordinate temple of the Moorish Science Temple of America not operate under the Hurd Smith Revised Statutes, Chapter 32, Section 36? Because this act clearly states that, and I quote eloquently with a silver tongue, any church, congregation, or society, right, formed for the purpose of religious worship may become incorporated in the matter following, and have elected crossed out, by appointing, according to its usages and customs, at any meeting held for that purpose, two or more trustees, warden or vestryman, or such officers whose powers and duties are similar to those of trustees, as shall be agreeable to the usages and customs rules or regulations, corporate name, and upon the filing of the affidavit, as herein provided, it shall be and remain a body politic and corporate by the name so adopted. You can see the source and a precedent in law, the doc number, source PA 81-1509. These are things that you can look up. So when people come with that fake cyber citizen, or they in more science and they got some magic wand or some lucky rabbit's foot, they can go on with that crap, man. So you can see When you study this Religious Corporation Act and glance at the affidavit of organization nobles with the original form of 1099, you will see how our prophet Noble Drew Ali followed the substantial form of the revised status and then expressly organized a ecclesiastical body politic and corporate known as what? The Moorish Science Temple of America. And by that name so adopted. This is where we start teaching the wisdom. This is how we can end all the confusion and foolishness of those who say the prophet did not establish a nation state. He just did. I just explained it clearly. It shouldn't be no more mix-up. Why do we hate our own brothers and sisters for what? I know many people with their hearts, they be all acting mad and this, and that, and the other. But when filing the Cook County for Recorder of Deeds office, an affidavit substantially expressed by the Holy Prophet Noble Drew Ali himself, being the presiding officer, he swore that the meeting of the members was what? Held, stated facts of the power and authority, and having the sheiks duly appointed, anointed, and consecrated. This instrument is well known as what? In our documentation, is our authority, but it's really titled the Affidavit of Organization. And by definition, an organization can include a wide range of entities, right? Or organization is defined as what? A corporation, a government, government or subdivision, agency, trust, estate, a partnership, association, two or more persons having a joint interest, or any other legal or commercial entity. You see what I'm saying, brothers and sisters? Well, you must have a clear understanding and be like, wait a minute. You should detract from all this craziness, because nobody in their right mind that's with these crazy YouTube channels gonna sit and have a real conversation. With a real conversation with all the cameras off, they're gonna be like, brother, you right. I know, because I know who they are. I know this game, and I'm coming with love. I can go deeper in order to organize as an ecclesiastical body politic and corporate at that time. Remember, at that time. So at that time, this is the way the temples were set up. It ain't no more. The temples are already established. So a church, a society, or a congregation, pursuant to the laws of the Hearst Smith Revised Status of State of Illinois, the affiant had to file in the office of Recorder of Deeds and what? An affidavit, substantial in the following form of Heard's Religious Society Act of 1872, Chapter 32, Section 36, right? Codified by the General Assembly as 805 ILCS, all caps, 110-36, from Chapter 32, Paragraph 165, Section 36. You know I'm telling the truth. You know? All this stuff is, you can get copies of it from the CCRD. Just like the other letter I was telling y'all about. It's like, no, these people sitting up here lying. I mean, they even got the original filing when the prophet filed the paperwork, a copy of it. It's like, man, come on, man. Why people just be sitting out here playing games with people, intelligence? You know? Even when I talk about a covenant and an oath, because we're going to jump through, we almost done. Covenant and the oath of the holy state. When we look back at the definition of body politic, we realize that there are important actions that citizens, nationals, and subjects are to make a custom with themselves. One action that I speak of is known as what? Coveting. Or convenating, but a covenant. So when we talk about coveting, so when we covet, or a covenant of a citizen is an agreement or a promise of two or more parties by deed in writing, signed, and delivered, by which either of the parties pledge himself or herself to the other that something is either done, shall be done, shall not be done, or stipulates for the truth of certain facts. So when we think about that real fast, Moors, as Moorish Americans, here right now, commonly known where? As America, under the divine leadership of our prophet, of teachers that we, and all prophets. But right now we talk about our prophet Noble Drew Ali. We are to attend covenants put in place under this body politic. There's but one covenant for the unity of Asiatic race, right? This covenant is known as what? A holy covenant of the Asiatic nation. This reference to our what? Chapter 25 of the Holy Quran, Circle 7 of the Moorish Science Temple of America, right? The holy booklet was divinely prepared by Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Prepared, divinely prepared. And when you covenant through the holy covenant of the Asiatic nation, you covenant with the whole people. And the whole people covenant with you. You see? And to covenant is to make a pledge. A pledge has a broad definition. But the main focus for now is that it's a promise or an agreement by which one binds him or herself to do, or forbears him or herself to do, or forbear something. So the promise or agreement are the conditions of the pledge itself, right? And when thinking about when all these Moors get caught up in U.S. citizenship and all this paper crap, we used to wonder why the 14th Amendment citizens pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. So a lot of stuff you must know, you know? Think about it, man. We talk about the oath of amnesty and all that stuff. We talk about said government, and Moors be like, well, you know, the said government. I'm like, what? Let's talk about it. The term said denotes something declared or before mentioned. That's all. On your nationality card, Noble Drew Ali declared you are a Muslim under the divine laws of the Quran of Mecca, love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Then he's shown you that you are a citizen of the USA coming out of a rebellious state. You have, you have to take the said oath to be a citizen of the perpetual union again. You know? And the term said government has been used in the Moorish divine constitution and bylaws a couple of times. Remember in Act 4, 6, and 7? Right? And it denotes a government in a former time. To be part of a said government is to be an equivalent of, whether citizen, subject, or even property through citizenship or nationalization. So the term parcel refers to a part or portion, or portion of land. So a part of an estate, a parcel in its context, as used with reference to land, generally means a continuous quantity of land in the possession of an owner. So the estate that we partly own is explained later, but you got to understand what it means. To be a part and parcel of the said government is to be a member of the perpetual union of the USA. Think about what I'm saying. And in the existing rebellion, like the Confederacy. This is why members who take the oath of amnesty and reconstruction are congratulated and welcomed back to the family of nations. Just think about this when this thing happens. You know, when I say we are Moorish Americans, and in our teachings under Act 6, we are members of two states, the Perpetual Union and the Moorish Science Temple. It's just what it is. It's no disrespect. I love an American. I'm an American all day. You know? When people be talking about the fee absolute, it's defined as an estate limited absolutely to a man and his heirs and assigned forever without limitations and conditions. An absolute or fee simple estate is one in which the owner is entitled to the whole property with unconditional power or disposition during one's life and descending to their heirs and legal representative upon one's death. In estate, such estate is unlimited as to duration, disposition, and decent ability. You understand what I'm saying? I hope we caught that. I hope we caught that little tittle. Just like when I'm talking about the law of succession in religion. We tie all this stuff together. You have to be clear with this thinking and let them clowns do that stupid stuff. By fee simple absolute, man or grantor of our estate would be the prophet in that context. And the heirs would be the Moorish Science Temple of Americans with the free national name, El Urbay, annexed to their birth name. I ain't say your last name was no slave name, annexed to your name your mama gave you. So be careful not to throw away your name for a morsel of bread. And since our Prophet Noble Drew Ali is the owner of the whole property, in this context, his position of the estate is the holder in due course. Think about it. Think about it. Think about it. The holder in due course is defined as a holder who takes an instrument of value or for value in good faith and without notice that it is overdue or has been dishonored, or if any defense against or claim to it on the part of any person. A pay may be a holder in due course. So all this stuff we should know. We can't let nobody make up no stuff, or just because somebody say they part of the Moorish Zion Temple or they or she and they finna act like they getting ready to make you something. No, they not. No, no, no. You know, because as Moorish Americans, beneficiaries, the Prophet Noble Drew Ali is the holder in due course of any and all lawful instruments, real or personal estate, tenements, and hereditaments of the Moorish Zion Temple of America. Why? Because he is the owner of the whole or entire property once it's transferred to him, right? Just like if it was you. That's why the Holy Prophet Noble Drew Ali grants the land described to us. A transfer of land lawfully takes place when one falls in accordance with the deed of conveyance. When people talk about their conveyancing, all that stuff, you losing it. And the fee simple absolute deed. So when I'm talking about this stuff, he's not talking about taking no land. We're talking about it. You gotta listen, man, because nothing that's not yours is yours. Think about it. Act 6 of the Divine Constitution and Bylaws is our deed of conveyance. Act 6 with us. This is what Act 6 says. With us, all members must proclaim their nationality, and we are teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed, that they may know that they are part and parcel of this said government, and know that they are not Negroes, colored folks, black people, or Ethiopians, because these names were given to slaves by slaveholders in 79, and lasted until 1865 during the time of slavery. But this is a new era in time today, and all men now must proclaim their free national name to be recognized by the government in which they live and the nations of the earth. This is the reason why our prophet, this is the reason why Allah, the great God of the universe, ordained Noble Drew Ali. You know, that's what the teachings says. So we can get all specific and a little bit of more of that, but I don't want to stay too specific in that. I just wanted to give some overview. Even with our divine constitution and bylaws, I mean, stuff is so clear. When I tell people we're not here to overthrow no government and none of that stuff, like flash your card, that like we're not here to cause no confusion. Like all that stuff is asinine. All that type of lower demonstration is not more science. It's just not. So I hope everyone research the law of succession in religion and get a clear understanding of that. Get a clear understanding of what's going on. Ask questions, because I'm telling you, no one have no magic wand. I've been doing this for too long. The only thing at the end of the road is what? A quicksand. I promise you. That's what you're gonna get at the end of the road is quicksand. With all these courses and programs, it's nothing but a pyramid scheme, a Ponzi scheme. It's all fallacy. And it's like payola. And it's like nighttime infomercials. And it's just sad. It really is sad. You know, because if that's really the case, everybody will be okay. But they know how a poor mentality individuals, what they chase, They chase what? $1. They chase $1 while it's running, while you making somebody fat. You chasing a dream. You know? Like I tell people, you might as well go play the lotto, because at the end of the day, it's a fallacy. That's all I tell people is like, think about this stuff. Think about this. Think about all these things that's going on, what we complain about, what we say we should have. And if all these individuals have the key to give you some paperwork and magically make you have more money, or you file and you cancel corporate debt, or you file something, or you can travel like the Amish and you do all this stuff, But what are you talking about? And I want to be clear with my brothers and sisters, because nobody have no corporate debt. Brothers want to What brothers and sisters want to do is get into things, and a lot of the contracts that they went in as willing obligors, everything you want to do now, you want to say, well, I can cancel all this, I can file some paperwork, because I don't see no other reason why brothers is into the science. I don't see any other thing on TikTok. I see brothers in suits. I see our melanated women. I see they even got R. Kelly, one of his wives, and another dude on there with these people talking all this stuff. And I say, people really think that's something that's like that. This been going on for years, and I give them the wisdom. That's why nobody would come to me and say, "Well, man, that's not valid," because it is valid. And it's the way we wasting our energy, we wasting our time, and that's why none of these people will get in trouble. Why? Because you're a willing obligor. Do anybody got any questions? We out of here. I hope y'all, man. I hope y'all stay tight, man. I hope y'all keep y'all mind right, man. You know, believe me, I do. I really do. And like I said, this is a safe place to ask questions. You know, like I said, I don't know so many people that got caught in some of these publishing companies, and people say, yeah, they claim their nationality with some publishing company, and they got they mortgage ID from some people they made off the internet. Like you might as well make your own. And this is what I tell people: what you met somebody on the internet, and they say that they are some sheik from whatever they little group it is, and you give them all your information, your social security number, and all this, and they make you some ID with expiration dates and all that. You got to tell me, what is that going to do for you? If you don't understand clearly just half of the stuff that I've broke down about the religious laws, and these brothers profess they're not this and that, clearly it's something wrong. You see what I'm saying? So I hope brothers and sisters be okay to ask questions. I hope brothers and sisters be okay with learning the right way, because that's what we have here at this platform. And then tomorrow we're gonna have Sunday school. We got some great topics. Like I said, I got a plethora of new books. I've been doing some studies late. I'll be sending my muftis. And like I said, brothers and sisters, we're a safe place. Y'all can hit me up, ask me anything, long as it's honest, long as it's righteous. Please don't waste my time, because I wouldn't waste your time. Y'all know how to hit me up, any information you need. But please subscribe to our Temple and School YouTube channel at Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School. For all our classes, we just had some technical difficulties today. We had to play a rerun. But is there anything, like I said, anybody want? I give honor to all my people. Peace. I give honor to everyone, man. Like I say, and I'm just here to let my brothers and sisters know I'm never discouraged. I'm always encouraged from what we're doing and from where the Creator is taking me, where the Creator is taking you. And we have all the abilities. And a lot of times we just don't look, a lot of times we don't recognize it. A lot of times we have everything right in our face, and sometimes we just don't recognize it. And as where I'm going, as my vibration and where my frequency going, like I say, my head is always on a swivel. Thanks, bro. Thanks, Jude. Peace, bro. But my head is always on a swivel, on a swivel. And so I know what we can do, man. And that's just where I'm at with my life. I know what we can do. I know we got so much power. And I know everybody have their own groups, but it's about solidarity. It's about that spider web. And if we don't understand this wonder twin powers activate, because brother, I'm telling you, nobody's gonna get us a bag. I just have to, man. It just on my spirit, man. Like I be telling brothers, I be like, we be so caught up in other things instead of bringing our own conglomerate, bringing our own think tank together. Here it is, my dad getting ready to be 80. Is my business partner and my confidant. And I'm like, man, I know what we can do together as a core group with my brothers, with other brothers. Like I tell people, we already own 10 acres of beautiful land. Like we can't come up with nothing. We can't trust no we can't come up with be like, you know what, I'm gonna rock with this plan. I've been telling everybody I got a blueprint, I got a master plan. It ain't mine, it's from the creator. And I'm trying to bring people with me. And everybody know I got a master plan. I have a master plan. It works. It works. We missing it. Everything that we want to do, any type of investment, if we all jump on the dang old ship, we can do anything. We can invest in anything we want to. We can do anything we want to. I tell brothers and sisters this, but I just think sometimes it's just like when you're dealing with investments, when you're dealing with any other thing that make money, when you have a group of people and they put money together, it's not realistic to Negroes because we used to doing illegal things. You know, we used to working hard to the bone. We're not doing things that is already successful because we don't do things in groups. Man, I know people put bread together, man, and like I said, when I got my dual master's degree, this is from GCU. I tell this story all the time. When I got my dual master's from GCU, I was the only brother that graduated. I met Europeans, Albions, Trelodikes, whatever, from Oregon, where else? They were from Denver, and they were going back home to be priests and to be this and that and the other. They were like, man, I know your parents and your friends proud of you. You're going to go back to the city and make something happen. And you would think, you know, but the numbers, watch this. Watch this. So anyway, we were just talking about the doing things and numbers and how people get tax exempt receipts and just building a structure and how we give money away. And when we talk about, man, we could have our own gyms and we can buy a building and do this. And we could be teaching our own kids all the skills that I have. Because like I said, I'm a personal trainer. I study Wing Chun. I study boxing. I mean, I got speed bags, boxing bags, all in my gym. You know what I mean? Agility, all these things. And so when I come with people with ideas and complexes, especially brothers and sisters that just have a clear idea, when we don't spread things for whatever reason, and I'm not saying no, I'm just saying for whatever reason, just think about this balance. Think about what I'm saying for a minute, my family. When we can have our own thing, like per se, just say if we have 300 family and friends and we donate to our organization, to the BPT, $100 a month. At the end of the year, that's $360,000 a year from a small tittle of people. Now that's not even taking a bite out of what we owe Uncle Sam, because we have the right to donate to our religious and charitable contribution of our choice. You have a right to donate a certain percentage of your earned income before taxes. I can go even deeper with that, but I'm just staying with the basics. So say if we operate like that, and your brother is teaching and educating I'm teaching our brothers and sisters our spirituality. I have a full library. This is my profession. This is what we can have. We will all be stakeholders. I got a friend that's a behavioral health therapist. All this stuff we'll be able to do through our organization. Licensed through the state. We'll be able to get grants. We'll be able to do things. How? Because we have the infrastructure. And that's a small tittle with the money we giving Uncle Sam. Now imagine if everybody said, you know what, $100 really ain't nothing. That I can give more. Why? Because I'm giving it away to Uncle Sam. It's sitting in the private banking system. We a private banking system. And that's the understanding, that's the wisdom we don't understand. When I talk about tax exempt from the federal government, religious and charitable and scientific, a lot of us don't understand that because a lot of our brothers think they're giving something away or they're giving something to somebody. I say, no, you're giving it to Uncle Sam off the top. All you need is a tax exempt receipt. That's how we build infrastructure. That's how we have our own after school activities. That's how we have our own scouts. That's how we have our own mentor facility. We don't have to send our kids nowhere else. In the summertime, we got to find something for the kids to do. Why? We have infrastructure. And if we take this to our city of Flint, man, it's too many buildings. We'll be operating. This is what I be telling brothers. We have to be more than partying and BSing. And this is what I be saying. about the energy and time where we gonna work till we die? Are you telling me we gonna work till we die? Because we can't get no more from no company unless we create our own. And some people don't want to do that. We used to getting fed. So what I'm saying is, I be talking to my brothers and sisters that's working, when brothers and sisters be like, man, we can get some houses and all this. And I said, okay, do y'all all work? Yep. Well, how much you give Uncle Sam each year for taxes? You think you're getting a tax return? You're not. You're not getting no tax return. You're only getting the tittle of back of what Uncle Sam took from you from the whole year. But just imagine if we have a game plan. Imagine for all our friends, our wives doing the same thing. This is what we'll do. We'll have infrastructure. Think about what I'm saying. This is not hard. Brothers and sisters, this is not hard. And I have a background in this. I see my European colleagues doing it. I see my Jewish colleagues doing it. And you telling us we can't do it? Family and friends and like-minded individuals, you telling us we can't do that? All we gonna, because I know friends each month, if I wanted to hang out and I say I don't have no money, they'll spend $100 and be like, I got you, big bro. Oh, I got you, bro. We family. We grew up, we got 40 years. I'll be like, bro, I need that. Man, can you buy me something? Yep. Each month, without no problem. Each month. We'll do that each month without no problem, with our eyes closed. Oh man, me and my boy went out, we had a good time. Brothers spend way more than that. And so just think if we structured, just think if we say, man, we're going to do this for a whole year. We got this amount of people. At the end of the year, we can have this. And you telling me, Sheik, you can give us a tax exempt receipt? Yeah. Yeah. At the end of the year, I can give you a tax exempt receipt for $1,200. But then as you're dealing with your tax preparer, depending on how much you make, that $100 a month is not going to be a dent. And depending on how much you make, you got to donate a certain percentage to offset your taxes. So in the state of Arizona, say if you make like over $65,000, you gotta donate 13%. But that comes with the in-kind service. And see, a lot of people don't even know what I be talking about when I be saying in-kind service. Why? Because when you working and when you in a certain tax bracket, you giving it away to Uncle Sam off the dribble. And people don't file exempt. And then if you file an exempt, why are you filing exempt? You should be filing exempt. Why? Because you're part of your religious organization and you're paying your taxes through your organization, at least the bare minimum, and you get a tax exempt receipt. That's how we build infrastructure. That's how we own the houses in the neighborhood. That's how we have all our after-school activities. That's how we have our centers. How? That simple. It's that simple. Everybody can contribute. I don't care what level of income you have. Think about these dynamics. Think about it. And then we structure under our religious laws, where we structure under a whole different bylaw and organization. We are a brotherhood, especially a lot of my brothers that's in fraternal orders. You should understand what I'm saying. I'm a fraternal order. I'm just tax exempt for the federal government. I'm taking it to another degree. This is what I be telling my brothers and sisters. You can't say you ain't spiritual. I don't care if you a Mason, I don't care if you a Q or Kappa and all this. You understand spirituality. I bet you if I sat down with you, you have a clear understanding. You might not understand at this moment, but I can give you a clear understanding. And no matter what you're dealing with, I'm going to take it to the ancient. We're going to have to agree, because it ain't nothing to disagree with me, especially if I'm your brother. And I know your ancient wisdom. I know where all your elders got their science from. This is no disrespect. This is love. When I come to brothers, I come with a uniting of Asia with a solution. It's like, come on, man. Like, God dang. This is the solution. Think about what I'm saying. I tell everybody, I say, it's a solution to what we're doing. Look how we spread. Where are we from? We from a city of Flint. Nobody's going to save us. We can save ourselves. We are the elders in our communities. We got brothers that's licensed therapists. We got divine ministers like myself. Man, we can pull this pool together. We don't got to let the weak ones suck all this. Like my dad said, we got to let a certain type of people give a bad name for spirituality. No, we don't. No, we don't. It's individuals like yourself and myself that can stand strong. That's men. That need to be showing these young boys the way. That need to be wrapping our arms around them so they can be the next thinkers. We're right now showing them a way how to use their mental, showing them about finances. And we need to be the right now. We need to be coming together too as males, showing how can we build together, getting ourselves together, getting our mind together, building something. Because we ain't doing nothing but wasting. And this is what I be telling brothers out of the sound of my mouth. I know we can do it. How? Man, I go to my city of Flint. We can ride down the block. Every goddamn go neighborhood is an abandoned church with the parsonage next to it. No, we can own one of them in a calendar year. Have that mug filled to the brim. Have have all our youth rocking and rolling. Change the community, because that's where we from. And then if brothers and sisters in this field for like mental health, dealing with the youth, dealing with individuals getting out of prison, well, that's right in that's our field. That's our field. That'll be an easy pipeline to resurrect our brothers and sisters, and have that spiritual connection, to be able to show them who they are historically and spiritually, to do that connection. Because a lot of these brothers got it misconstrued. A lot of these brothers think this Crips and Bloods. A lot of these religious brothers out here think it's Crips and Bloods. You got the Christians, the Negro Hebrewites, you got them goofy ass Moors, and I'm a Sheik, and I'm calling them goofy sovereign citizen Negroes. You got all of them. You got the fraternity people, I love them all. Then you got the Egyptian Negroes. You got all these people that went to high school together. Like, this stuff is crazy as hell to me. It's crazy. And so we got to pull ourselves up by our bootstraps, man. And like I'm telling y'all, we have a blueprint. We got to try. I love what Jalen Rose and them doing. I love what LeBron and them doing. But hell, we the LeBron James. We the Jalen Roses in our community. We can pull stuff together. It don't take no time. I'm telling you, we can adopt something and say, bro, let's stand behind this as adults. Let at least give it a try. Because ain't nobody else hustle me. Ain't nobody said that, man, collect some millions and this person made a school. We ain't telling nobody we going to take our baby from somewhere. No, we giving our people an outlet, a 7th hour, especially our babies, something to do in the summer, like the summer feeding program, summer camps, while they go to school through the weeks. And once we establish something, if things get on that level where we can have our own charter schools in the future, so be it. But right now, we can't have our own spiritual house and our own study house where our kids can have a 7th hour. After school, they come right to us. They get that training. They get that physical fitness. They get that discipline. They get the martial arts. They get the computer studies. They get dealing with finances. They get to be around men and decompress. All those things. Know how to fill out the resume. Know how to tie a tie. Know all those things. Know how to cook. All those things that we can provide in-house. To show the youth in the community, and people will donate, especially us. Because I showed the blueprint. Churches can do this. Now you see the power of what the churches have. Now, is it the church mission? It might not be. I just showed y'all 300 people giving $100 a month. It's $360,000 a year. So you got to imagine on a small scale like that what we can do. What we can do on a small scale like that in our community. We'll buy something just like that. We'll be rocking and rolling. And then once our people understand what we're doing, especially our brothers and sisters that's working, because we the future. No matter what level you working on, it's a win-win. All you're doing is transitioning something from here to there. It's that simple. And people know what I'm talking about, because when you get a job, you will let Uncle Sam take a certain percentage out your check. Oh, I'm going to let Uncle Sam take the most. Why? Because you think you're getting a tax return. I teach this. And if people was a part of things the right way, it's nothing else I can say. It's nothing else. It's nothing else I can say. That's how easy it is. And everybody get a taxes and receipt to give to Uncle Sam. That's why I said everybody can start. Everybody should ask questions. Everyone that's in a tax bracket, you should want to donate to your religious and charitable contribution of your choice. You should want to deal with your sheikh or your rabbi, which I am. How? So you can do in-kind service. You should want to know what in-kind service consists of. All these things that I'm breaking down is something so brilliant. We can have our library. I have a real library. Then I can bring a lot of things to our physical brick and mortar. Then I can bring a lot of our computers, our laptops and stuff to these infrastructures. Then we can start having our own library and skill centers, which you need in the neighborhood. All these things that we can do. And everybody can get a taxes and receipt. Look how simple that is. That ain't even complex. I'm not asking nobody to give more or take nothing. I'm saying whatever you're doing right now, if you're working right now, you can file exempt, and you can get a taxes and receipt, and get your tax prepared. All this stuff you should know. All this stuff, because the religious laws trump everything. You have the right to do these things. That's why you think a lot of mega churches they operate. A lot of people they donate to the church. They don't even get a tax or receipt. But the ones that donate that big money, I'm sure they do. Why? They should. Why? Because they in a high tax bracket. So if you're in a high tax bracket, either you donate or you giving it to Uncle Sam. It's like either here or there. And then in certain states, it's only a certain percentage. Like in the state of California, you can give 60% of your earned income before taxes to your religious and charitable contribution of your choice. So just imagine the power that you can do, that we all can do. When we complain and saying our kids don't know nothing or we don't have this, why everybody working, giving their money away. We can have infrastructure and your brother that's a sheik, that's a shaman, that's a medicine man, that's an educator, that's connected to a lot of sources. Or everybody can just get a taxes and receipt. And we can build infrastructure. We could have been bought a building in our neighborhood. We could have been, how can I say, adopted a neighborhood and had it our religious community. Hell, it's a street on my neighborhood. I grew up on Patterson Street. You drive all the way up Patterson Street, turn right on Proctor, the whole block is abandoned. Just imagine the work that can be done in these areas. When I tell people the religious laws trump things and why all this stuff is just sitting in our face, we being entertained. And a lot of our kids go pro. Look at all the pro athletes that went pro. And now they talk about, oh, they wish they would have invested their money in this. We don't blame them, but now we have the time to do this because they don't talk about financial literacy. You don't hear no one that lost their money, especially like Sebastian Telfer, talk about they have financial literacy classes and all that money they was making. You might have been making millions, and someone came to you and say, "Man, put $2 million away. Put $2 million away in it where you can't touch it until you 50 or something like that. Why? Because you're gonna get there." Or XYZ with your money. Or don't let no European, Albion, or no Negro watch your money. Watch your own money. Write your own checks. All these things when I educate a person on these things. So when your basketball day's over, what you own things. You have money, and money is king. Cash is king. Credit is queen. To me, you have money, you have value, but you have education. And with education and wisdom, and with your head on straight, with your religious laws, with your team, you can take over where you from. Think about what I'm saying, y'all. It's not taught. Financial literacy is not taught to our babies. Our babies, or a lot of these athletes that we know made all these millions, be like, damn, where all your money go? So we can't count no one pockets, but what we can do, now someone is structured, just like we can donate to something in our neighborhood and everybody can get credit for that. Just like I'll be telling the hustlers, I said that Nipsey Hussle stuff, you ain't buying nothing real with dope money. It got to be under the right structure. Now it was movies and you see like The Sopranos and you see other movies where those brothers be donating to their religion. Well, that's what you can do. You can drop whatever in a Tide box. You know? And so what I'm saying is what I'm telling my brothers, man, we got to stop complaining, man, and pull ourselves up by our bootstraps. It's too many of us, man. Especially brothers from my city of Flint. Especially your brothers that understand what we can do, that have skills, that say they spiritual and they got kids. And I say, who is your spiritual advisor? If something happened to you right now, who is your spiritual advisor? Who you gonna get in contact with? Reverend Pork Chop? And then you know me? Who gonna do you a eulogy? Man, I got brothers all over the state. I done the eulogies. I done all this. I done went to university and got degrees in spirituality, anointed and consecrated. Who else would you call? That's what I don't get it. Who else would you want to do something for you like that but your own brother? That's on the level of peace. That's not under no jurisdiction of no man-made religion. Because I have a clear understanding. I'm way past that man-made stuff. I'm not Negro. I'm not black. No one's over me. When I'm Sheik, I'm Buddha. That's the level that I am of understanding, of synchronicity. But when it comes to this life stuff and come to connect to my brothers and sisters, this is the connectivity, this is the science, this is what I have to talk about. Because this is my life. You know, it got to be a level where we done bullshitting. It ain't nothing wrong with having fun, but in the meantime, look how much we giving to meaningless things. Instead of saying, you know what, Sheik, let's make this right. Let's do something. Shit, trust your brother. Hell, we want to have our own place where we meet and shoot pool and kick it. We can have all that in our temple. It's our temple. We come to our city of Flint and we want to watch the game and all this, and with our people and cook. We can have our own temple. We can have our own homes in our community. I mean, what are we talking about? And so I'm just throwing my net out to my brothers and sisters, man. Please come to Sunday school tomorrow. Man, I'm asking all my friends, subscribe to my Temple and School YouTube channel at the Burning Bush Tabernacle sign Temple and School. Man, come to Sunday school, man. You know, come to Sunday school. Support our Temple and School. You know, give a small donation. I give you taxes and receipt. Man, I'd even give you gifts. I even give you books, you know, ebooks and things. But I mean, the only way we can be some is the people support. The only way we can be some if all my people and all my friends support and we put it out there. Like, man, I've gathered and compiled, man, I done wrote 20 books. I've gathered and compiled over 20 books. And all my books are converted to ebooks, or you can get them printed and bind it from me because I have a printing press. Man, all my friends should have them. It shouldn't be no problem. It shouldn't be no problem if somebody doing something righteous. Man, it ain't about no freaking clothes. All the stuff that I make on my webpage, I'll give the shit away to somebody for free. But I wrote some wisdom that's valuable, that's dear to my heart. I wrote some history. I wrote some science where people can understand the degree of wisdom that I'm talking about, especially my friends. You know? And so I just wish, you know, that we come to a spot, man, where we say, you know what? Let's all come together, man, in solidarity. Let's share this. Let's have my brothers speak. And that's another thing, man. I done spoke to so many other nationalities, man. And like my wife be saying, like, none of your brothers that in these fields have you speak to none of their kids and they misnomer black kids, and you speak to all these professionals and you speak to all these people in Arizona and they kids. Like, what's wrong with our own people? I'd be like, I don't know. I told y'all, man, a lot of people will let you down. We be wanting these people just because they play sports. Just because a person plays sports, everybody ain't played sports. I have a profession. I'm a lecturer. I'm a scholar. I'm a teacher. I have an expertise. I can speak on many things on many levels. And this is what I tell people. We don't use what we have. We don't use our resources. And I always want to ask brothers and sisters, why? Why? Why are we the only ones that do that? It ain't nepotism when it's someone else, but when it's us, we don't even reach what we have. And you have somebody right there that you can check off every mark. Boom, 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 boom. Why? Because I do it with my other nationalities. I speak at their Masonic houses. I speak at their frat houses. I speak at their churches. That's how. That's how. I'm Melchizedek to them. So if I'm Melchizedek to others that people would walk with their head down, why can't I be that with my brothers and sisters? Why can't I be that with my brothers and sisters that got organizations when they need someone to speak to the kids or speak positive or speak spirituality? Why I'm not the one? Why I'm not the one? And see, this is what my professors used to ask. They're like, you'll see as you continue to get older and go to the next level, a lot of people that you grew up with, you're going to have to be done dealing with them because it's going to be a conflict of interest, because you should be used the same way as you use with others, with your other people, if they in connection with that. That's why. And that's why we don't ever create nothing. Think about what I'm saying. Think about what I be saying, brothers and sisters. This is for us to know. This is for us to get. We don't take advantage of what we're supposed to. We think athletes and sports we think that's claim to fame. And it's not. And I tell people, we more complex than a basketball and a football throwing Negro. Brothers got stories. It ain't that many educated brothers and sisters that can talk about their background and say they went got a bachelor's degree and a master's degree and moved 3,000 miles away and got a whole brotherhood and lectured and wrote books and got a whole book company, created clothes in his brother name and just love all, you know, from other people, met whole families, you know. And so this is what I'm saying, man. We just gotta do more, man, because we getting older, man. I'm getting ready to be 49 in January. Like I said, his brother's 50. And I said, we don't have nothing. When we go back to our neighborhood, we just ride around, look at all the raggedy stuff. Or we just party and bullcrap and people that go to clubs. But we don't have no balance. And it ain't nothing wrong with that, y'all. It ain't nothing wrong going out. Ain't nothing wrong having a drink. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Don't get me wrong. But what about balance? When we say we need to go hear something spiritual, brothers don't have nothing. And I'm supposed to be your spiritual head. And I can't even get brothers to come and donate. Hell, just like brothers buy clubs and stuff in the city, we can buy our own temple and school and change the city. That's what we need. We need our own temple and school where in our neighborhood. It's waiting for us. We need to be seen. This wisdom need to be seen. The kids need to see us with our fezes on, our turbans. They need to see all the brothers, all the different fraternities and everybody coming together under solidarity. That's what they need to see. That's what they need to see. They need to see us coming together as what? One. In our community making a difference. Building blocks. Because we have the infrastructure. We have the minds. All we got to do is come together. And everything that we want to do, as I close, y'all, we can do it. How? Because we giving our money away. So let's take this conversation deeper another time, man, and come back around the block. I love y'all, man. Thank y'all for taking time out y'all day. Have an amazing time. What up, Peace, Jew? I love you, brother. I'm going to hit you up real soon. Man, like I say, man, let's just do more, man. Because I'm telling you, we can do more. We can do more. They laughing at us. That's all I got to keep saying, man. They laughing at us. I love y'all, man. Peace.